Alright, we're back. We've got both those stitches out, and then all you want to do is just get your hands in there and push it inside out. Those bag tops are made to do that, and the whole thing just pulls inside out, and now we've got our pump exposed. Ooh. Now watch out for these, some of these, because we've cut the stitch. There's probably going to be one long stitch left, and that potentially can slice through these pumps like butter. Trust me, I've done it. Wow, this looks terrible. So they've got a bit of sponge on the back here, which is different. As you can see, they just used a bit of EVA foam or whatever this is. It's a bit of medium density stuff. It's probably about a mil or two thick. But yeah, they've just reused a bit of the lining material, which is, yeah, fair enough. They've still tacked it onto the top here, but they haven't bothered stitching it into the bottom like the other ones were, so that's actually convenient. All we have to do is bust a stitch across the top here. And hopefully, let's just check it's not a... Have they got two stitches here or one? I can only see one. Ooh. Does that mean I'm going to have to cut the pump off instead of... Because if I cut that stitch and it's the only stitch there, it's going to open, and I don't want to do that. Oh no, there it is. I think that's it. Okay. Yes, that's it. Just gently slice down that, cross my fingers that my observation is right. I don't want to damage these pumps if possible. Okay. Extraction complete. That is an absolute disgrace, Reebok. What is this? These are both the same size. They're just like 10 years apart and two different manufacturers. This is not worth its weight in anything. It doesn't work. So what they've done is they've reconfigured this second one-way valve somehow. Can see that, but whatever's going on, the orifice for that valve is right in the center of the pump, so that when you grip it symmetrically, you're actually closing off both one-way valves at the same time. So yeah, these are not going to pump very easy. There is a stiff and hard frame, like a hula hoop in there. So to get these to work, you want to put two fingers behind on either side of that frame and thumb it in the middle. And they work pretty well if you remember to do that. But as soon as you just do 1-2 fingers, it's likely gonna, yeah, not work on closing both valves. But guys, I could probably bust this chamber just by pumping it up with a bit of pressure, which is really sad. And like, I was never really a big fan of this pump chamber to begin with, and this one's even worse. And honestly, you know what else is making it hard? Is there's an inflation portion. Like, right behind the pump there's this big flippin' space. I presume that they've had to do it this way for the one-way valve, but it inflates and holds the same pressure that the rest of the bladder holds, so that when you're pumping, you're not only pumping the pump, but you have to compress the whole chamber as well, which makes it twice as difficult to pump up as if you've got nothing behind it. It's much easier, and this one's much easier. This one, it's all soft, The whole pump, the actual pump, there's nothing rigid in there, and I can pump it with my thumb, if that makes sense. Just bug it. This thing, the biggest volume area is right here. This is terrible. And as you can see, they've made the only left and right consideration they have are these Mickey Mouse ears. They just put the valve on it in a different spot. It's yeah, well, you can see why they didn't. Yeah, it's just so cheap, guys. Really disappointing. Let's see how the. Of course, we're going to have other problems now because these are both rights, and now I've got right-left. So, you know, this is not by any stretch of the imagination a perfect solution. But yeah, just stick these in. It's not going to fit well. Yeah, these shoes are pretty rubbish. And you just get your one-way valve in, make sure you line it up. It'll pretty much self-center itself on the pump. Now I have pumps that work. Woohoo! Wish I had shoes that worked. So the pattern of this tongue is really bad. There's no shape in it. Like, it's dead flat. If you tie these on, you're gonna put these lovely creases in this beautiful white flashy bit right in the face. These are gonna look terrible. Absolutely terrible. Reebok's always had a seam down the center of the lining. Got something open. Yes, I do. So at the very least, Reeboks used to have this seam, and this seam is basically the equivalent of a dart. It basically takes up all that material and forces the tongue to sit in a bent shape. Can't really see it with these, but yeah. And they've got this other stitch here that it doesn't mirror it, but it does a similar job on the front. So that will, you know, it's sprung is what we call it in pattern cutting, where one shape is different in some way. Longer, shorter, one will be concave, one will be convex, and when you put them together you'll create a kink in the material. Whereas if you just make your patterns flat, like these fabulous new expensive imitation leather rubbish, these are going back on the shelf, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video of me picking apart these monstrosities, because a lot of you guys have probably got all the stuff in your cupboard at home to do that, to fix your own Reeboks, to at least get a couple of cannibalized pumps, midfoot pumps into these things. Even if that's all you do, that's, at least in my opinion, that's gonna feel a little bit better than whatever the hell they think they're calling this. This is not a pump. This is rubbish. Anyway, take it easy, fellas.